guys, so welcome back to our channel. It's been about a couple months since the last time I recorded a video. I think it was like the update video, and I'm not really sure if I was like 34 weeks or 36 weeks. So we're now in, what are we, November, gonna be December. I can't believe it, November's almost over. But anyway, so my baby girl was born on September 17th 2016 at 12:13 a.m. She was 17 inches and 5 pounds and 13 ounces. Okay, so what happened that day was kind of like crazy. It all happened so fast. Just gonna give you like a little bit of a rundown of what happened and like the birth, everything, and just after and stuff like that. So I go in for my 39-week appointment. 2 weeks prior to this appointment, my blood pressure was going up. It was kind of high, so it was between 138 to like 142. So it kept on going up and down for the last 2 weeks. And she does my blood pressure again. The nurse does, and of course it's high. So then I go in and I see the midwife, and the midwife checks me finally, because they didn't check me at all until up to this point. You're dilated to 2 centimeters, and they were concerned about my blood pressure. They said that I had gestational hypertension, and so they wanted to go ahead and induce me. She sent me straight to labor and delivery. I wasn't able to come home and get my bag. Didn't have any makeup on. I didn't have my hair done. I went in because we were supposed to go to the fair that night. And so I don't like getting ready before like we actually go, because I have oily skin, and so like I get all shiny and gross, and so I kind of just like to, you know, do it right before we leave. We have to wait for a room because all the rooms are full. It took like 20 to 30 minutes, which is fine because my husband was able to leave the hospital. I wasn't able to leave the hospital, but they were ready. He was able to leave the hospital, so he went home, and he came home and decided he was going to get the bags and the cameras and everything, get ready for that, for tonight, like that night, because, you know, maybe like around 1:32 I started Pitocin. I didn't dilate until around, I think like 4 is when I dilated to about I think like 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters. But the whole time, you know, they're like, oh, are you gonna want, okay, so my birth plan was to go all natural. The reason why I'm not like, you know, a sucker for punishment or anything like that, it's just I witnessed my sister give birth to my nephew, and she got the epidural kind of late in her labor. And when it was time for her to push, she wasn't able to feel anything, and so it was really hard for her to push my nephew out. I just didn't want to have to deal with that. Not only that, but I've always heard about how back pain, you know, the epidural can cause back pain later on or whatever, and because it's, you know, it's injected into your spine, and so I just don't want to have to deal with that at all. I did not take any kind of medications, no pain relievers, nothing. I didn't get the epidural, and so I wasn't dilating, so they kept on increasing the dosage of the Pitocin, and so finally I was like at 16 mLs. I think I was at 16. That's the highest that I went. And so after that, and then I still wasn't dilating, so probably around like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, the doctor comes in and says that I'm not really dilating as much, so they go ahead and pop my water bag. After that, the contractions were horrible. Yeah, my blood pressure was through the roof. It was pretty high, and so they were worried about it, so they had to go ahead and monitor the baby with the heart monitor thing inside. They had to put it inside. I'm not really sure what it's called. I'm new to all this. I don't really know the terms, but that was very uncomfortable. I kept on having the urge to push. The nurse kept on saying, don't push, don't push, don't push. You're at 7 centimeters, 8 centimeters. And then I was at 9 centimeters, and I was like, okay, I have to push. So then the nurse comes, and she opens me up even more in there, so then I'm at 10. They tell me start pushing. I just kept on feeling like that urge to push. That was like the worst part for me. The pain wasn't the worst part. I can get over the pain. The sitting there and having to hold pushing was worse for me. But so I'm guessing from my active labor to delivering her was about maybe an hour to 2 hours. The longest part was like the early labor, but other than that, everything else was quick. Like it was like 1, 2, 3, you know, like bad contractions, time to push, she's out. then it was my placenta coming out. Like, that was it. She was a little bit small. She was, like I said, she was 5 pounds, 13 ounces. She was really small. The doctor told me before she was going to be like 6 to 7 pounds. So, she did have a problem with her blood sugar. So, we stayed at the hospital for about 4 days. She wasn't able to leave because she had to keep her blood sugar up. And they were worried that she wasn't doing well with feeding. So we had to supplement her. We had to give her formula. So first it was, you know, breastfeed, and then the formula. So she lost a weight, and so they were concerned. I had to keep checking her blood sugar. That was really hard for me and my husband because, you know, we've never really been through this before, and it was a struggle, you know, like having to keep her feeding and stuff. She wasn't really latching that well because she was so small, and she wasn't getting the hang of it like babies, you know, should be getting the hang of it right after birth and stuff like that. So I did have a couple moments during labor where, you know, like in those movies where they're upset and they're yelling at people. So I wasn't yelling, but I did get frustrated with the nurse a couple times because I wanted her to check me to see where I was, and she kind of like did, when she'd come in to check me, she'd have other things that she had to do before she checked me, and I had that ugly sensation of having to push, and I couldn't push. So also, like with my husband, he was laughing and giggling because I was in pain. Or I don't know what he was laughing at, but he was laughing at me, and I was like, can you stop laughing? And my mother-in-law was like, oh, he's just excited. And I was like, I don't care, I'm in pain. So a couple times, you know, we had like those movie moments, but you know, I'm grateful that I went to those classes, like at the Kaiser and stuff like that, but they don't prepare you for what happens if everything goes crazy. Like, it's not according to plan. This was definitely not according to plan. I hadn't even eaten that morning because, like I said, we got up, went to the doctor's appointment, and, you know, I was going to eat when we got back because, you know, I didn't get ready or anything. We just woke up out of bed and took off. And so I didn't eat. My husband had to bring me Subway because they're like, oh, we're not going to give you the Pitocin until you eat. It was just a crazy experience. I would totally do it again. You know, I'm really proud of myself that I didn't deal with any kind of pain meds because, like I said, all those people that would give me, like, they would laugh at me, or they would say, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you've never been through this kind of pain before. I'm perfectly fine with doing it again, all natural. It wasn't as tiring as I thought it was gonna be, I guess. They say, oh yeah, make sure you sleep in between contractions. You can't really sleep between contractions. It's just not possible, you know. And not only that, like the anxiety and the excitement and everything else of having, like, getting ready to have, you know, your baby or give birth, stuff like that. It's not really easy to take naps. So a couple, I guess, tips I guess I could give women that are expecting their first child. Don't believe everybody about the pain. Okay, it depends on your tolerance for pain. If you had to go in with the whole, like, idea of giving birth naturally, if you want to do that, it's kind of like, okay, so I would go online or like on Pinterest to figure out how to, like, prepare for a natural birth. And so a lot of them said just mentally prepare yourself, mentally understand that your body knows what it's going to do and it's going to do it. You know, my state of mind was, there's no other options. There's no options of me getting medications. I'm going to do this naturally. There's no option. There's no other choice but to do it naturally. And so I felt like that kind of helped a lot. What else? Eat before. I know people are worried about pooping. That's like I guess that was like my main concern too. I was thinking about, I don't want to poop. So I really didn't want to eat. I didn't poop though. TMI, I understand, but all you women out there who've had babies, no. And if you haven't had a baby and you're pregnant and you're gonna give birth, be prepared. I was worried I was gonna poop, but I did poop. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you. If you have any questions about how I got pregnant, my pregnancy, because that's another thing too. I didn't really film a lot through my pregnancy. I didn't really have time, I guess, because I was getting everything ready for her room, cleaning. I guess you're like obsessed with like cleaning and nesting and stuff, so that's like what I was doing, and I was really tired and stuff like that, so I didn't really record a lot through my pregnancy. I took a lot of pictures but not record. So a few videos that I want to go ahead and put up are going to be like, how is it going with my baby, and how's it going with breastfeeding, stuff like that. Maybe I'll do a video about like things that are useful you know, the first weeks of pregnancy and things aren't really useful, like, you know, hopefully I can do a video with my husband, you know, kind of asking about what's going on with our marriage and everything else, because, you know, the baby takes up a lot of my time and, you know, a lot of adjustments for him as well. So I think that's interesting to watch, just because, you know, you want to see how it affects you and your relationship after. You know, that was one of my concerns, why we waited so long to actually go through the infertility treatments. You know, one, finances, and two is because we've been together for just us for a very long time, you know. So it was a little scary to know that we would have another little person, you know, that we'd have to kind of focus on, and our needs would be kind of on the back burner because of her. You know, everything that we would do would be for her. Anything that she needed would come first. Anything that she wanted would come first, you know. And so I think it would be a good little video to kind of get it out there. I think that would be interesting. Let me know what you guys think. But I might do another video about like what's going on with her and stuff like that. I hope to continue to do this. Oh, that's another thing too. I've been doing this for a year. I know I kind of slowed down when I was pregnant. Like I said, it was a busy time. It's okay. I can make up for it now. But I'm really proud that I was able to do it for a whole year, and I can hope to continue to do it. So what's coming up? Thanksgiving's coming up. So the day after Thanksgiving is our 7-year anniversary. So anyways, enjoy the rest of your guys' week. Happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye!